Morning everybody, just the beginning of day 2 of our trip down to South Australia. I'm just going to do a quick walk around of this place where we've been staying, so here we go. As you can see, they've made it quite eclectic. A few old knick-knacks kicking around and stuff from yesteryear, but it's probably pretty much as it was, apart from a few things that it was 160, 70 years ago. That's where we stayed, down there. There's a great atmosphere out here last night, the bar area, everybody here. Obviously you can't film and invade people's privacy, but you can probably get the idea that it's made for outside and socialising. It was really good. Proper Queensland pub. Lovely place. So if you're ever out and about, folks, in this part of the world, bit western Queensland centrish, but get yourself over to the Nindigully Pub. Very friendly, beer's cold, food's great, plenty of banter with the locals. Good experience. Righto folks, off we go. Talk to you soon. So as you can see, we're just getting ready to go now. Two fellas are ready, they've made the way and I'm going to follow on behind. The owner kindly let us to leave our motorbikes in safety and dryness around the back of the pub, which is really good. Even more reason why you motorbikers should come and visit the pub. Anyway, off we go to Cobar. I'll stick a map up and you can see the route then. It's 700, just over 700 k's anyway, so I'll put that up there in the corner. Beautiful sunny Queensland, well, western Queensland morning out here, so should be a great trip down. Anyway, goodbye Nindigully Pub, and off we go. Free beer yesterday, got to be the oldest joke in the book. Some painted grain silos over there as well, they really do make the most of things. Yeah, as we move further west, the landscape's starting to change a bit. I don't know, I might get the Insta360 thing if I remember to turn it on, but it doesn't give you much idea, but we really do live in a massive place down here in the lucky country in Australia. So folks, I think by my reckoning this is Bundaberg, and another place that's been around since the 1880s. I think I tried to do a bit of reading up, and I can't remember, but I did a bit this morning. I think it's famous for cotton manufacturing, and I think Cobar Station, which is the biggest farm in the southern hemisphere, I think that's only a little way west of here, so that's famous for its cotton producing anyway. Yeah, so interesting. Yeah. Now we're slowing up a bit here. Let's see. If I didn't know better, I think we're stopping for a morning tea. And we are. We're stopping at morning tea at the Bundaberg bakery. Anyway, this will be well received, I'm sure, by everybody. Alright, I'll see you after we've had more nose. So here we are at Hebel, folks, and I don't know much about this really, apart from it's been here since the 1860s, but it was first known as Kelly's something or other, I can't remember. It was linked to the famous Ned Kelly gang. Anyway, bit of interesting stuff for you, bit of stuff for the pub quiz. Anyway, let's see what this is like here. Sorry everyone, I'm going on about Ned Kelly as if you know all about him, and I'm sure a lot of you do, but he's a famous Australian bushranger outlaw, and he was a gang leader, a bank robber and all the other stuff, and I think he operated around Victoria and places like that, but I'm sure somebody will correct me and inform me properly, but he met his demise in Melbourne jail in 1880, I think. Anyway, that's the story of Ned Kelly. And just look at the landscape now, folks. How glorious is that? You probably can't see it on the camera, but I'm stood up now and I can see, well, right the way to the horizon both sides. Absolutely stunning. And that's a sign for Burke, and there's a famous saying in Queensland that they say back a Burke, which means miles away from anywhere, I think, but that's the saying in Queensland, so we're miles away from anywhere. Yes, so Burke is on the Darling River actually, and it's during the 18th century, I think it is. It was a big trading post today with boats up and down the river and stuff, but used to be a traditional wool growing area before cotton took over, but that's the main industry today, cotton. 160k to Cobar. Well, we've made good time today, I think, and yeah, really enjoying this trip. Good road trip to be on. Lots of new experiences happening for everybody. Well, for me especially. Keeping our eyes peeled here for the wild goat population. And there they are. We've actually seen thousands of them, to be honest, but not caught them on camera. But they seem to be road savvy. Don't see many squashed ones, so we're just paying them a bit of respect. And by my reckoning, everybody, we've made it to Cobar. Well, I've just tagged along really. The other fellas have done all the navigating, but they've been educating me a bit at night, see, you know, how to work out where the fuel stops are, so on and so forth. Yeah, I'm glad I've paired up with a couple of very knowledgeable chaps. Anyway, here we are at Cobar. We've made it. So I do know a couple of things about this place, because it is pretty easy to remember the one big thing they're famous for, and that's for copper. So it's actually known as the Copper City because it's the biggest producer of copper in Australia. So there you go. I've stepped the map back up again, but it's just over 700k, 730 I think. And here we are at the Copper City Motel, and I organised this one, so I'd better go out and sort all the info out. Anyway, thanks for joining us, and on this day two of our trip. Talk soon. Ta-ta for now.